Preparing to live stream. I'll tell you when we're ready. And we're good to go, I think. Okay. All right, so good afternoon, good morning, good evening, depending where you are in the world. My name is Christelle Donaldson. I'm the Communication Director for the Toilet Board Coalition. And in celebration of World Toilet Day, of International Women's Day today, I'm joining three lovely ladies to have a nice discussion around entrepreneurship as a woman. So I'll do some short introductions and then we'll get started. So the Toilet Board Coalition was started 5 years ago, and we're a, sorry, there's a plane going in the background. We're a non-profit organization aiming to bring a business approach to the sanitation crisis, and in particular, we work to help achieve universal access to sanitation. 5 years ago, we have started running the Accelerator program, and today we are joined with three lovely ladies who participated in the Accelerator program. And the program is a mentoring opportunity for small companies to learn, to be mentored, and to get visibility from our member companies. So today I'm glad to introduce Srija Santosh from Aram Scientific, whose company is building the first electronic public toilets in India. We also have Farhana Rashid from Bhumijo, who's offering also public toilet solutions, a whole integrated services, and Christine Kagetsu from Satni Pads, who's offering, the company is offering 100% biodegradable sanitary pads from banana fibers. So I will let them introduce themselves and introduce their companies much better than me. So maybe Srija, would you like to go first?
Okay. Okay. Fine. Hi, my name is Srija. I've started working in Aram Scientific Solution around 2 years back, and I was introduced into the company by Binsi Baby. She is the director of the company, and she believed I have some abilities, so she put me in a position as a business development manager here to look after the collaborations and the different new initiatives that the company is bringing about. Aram Scientific Solution has been in the business for more than 10 years, building, as you say, not just toilet, it is having an E before the toilet. That means it has a big importance, the E part of the toilet. And I was actually mesmerized by the E component when I first joined. What is this E for the toilet? So yeah, so I got my answers. It is the company is a solution that is integrating electronic and doing a lot of R&D in the sanitation part of the projects, where with all these electronic components and IoT enabled, they are bringing automatic solutions into the sanitation space, so that what is the aspiration is the toilet is always clean for the public usage. So the basic function of an electronic toilet, if for the people who are new to it, is that it flushes by itself before a person enters the toilet. And once a person exits, it flushes by itself. So that, even if a person forgets, it's
Yes.
still is getting a big makeover with the automatic features. And in a country like India, where the population is high, it's a thickly populated country, where around 1.38 billion people are, occupying this space. And here, it is of big importance that you have, and you don't find it clean every time in the conventional toilets. Why? Because of the crowd that is coming and using, and every time it's being used, there is not a person to clean it every time it's being used. So this is a solution that the company has brought in, where even if there is no person, a physical presence, the toilet cleans by itself and it is ready for use for the next person. So apart from that, we have other connected solutions. We have focused also in the waste management. So it's not just the front end of the toilet that we have focused on and getting it all packaged. It's the back end also, where even if there is no sewage connection, we have developed waste management solutions with big organizations and university collaborations like Caltech University, USF, then our own Indian DRDO, BIRAC. We have tied up with them for the for bringing more modifications and for more research and more better solutions wherever it is required, customizing it. So we have been in the for now we have installed around 4,000 plus toilets across the country. In almost all the states of India, we have our reach, and also in out of India, also Middle East, we have done a lot of installations. So and we are receivers of 50 plus national and international awards. Swachh Bharat Mission, we have been with the Swachh Bharat Mission, all this throughout, and we have worked with governments, and we have installed, and not only CSR companies and schools, and we have done a lot of installations, and yeah, we are going on in this path. And our recent one is the micro enterprise in sanitation. That is our recent model, where in spite of our toilets being automatic, still we faced a lot of issues of not being clean. So we introduced a livelihood model post pandemic situation, so that there is a means of livelihood, and also that same person will be near to the sanitation space to see that it is clean and safe for all users.
Okay.
And
thank you, Srija.
Thank you.
Thank you for the detailed introduction. So we'll come back again to more details, but I want to give a chance to everyone to also introduce herself. Farhana, do you want to go next?
Sure. Thank you, Michelle, and also thank you, Toilet Board, for organizing such events. I'm getting really excited to know more all about the ladies. And so our journey started with from my own problem. Like, I'm the founder of Bhumijo, and from my childhood, I have never drank water whenever I was up. So this is the story, and this is a very common thing because there was not proper and hygienic public toilets in urban places, in stations, or all over the country. So, and we thought this is the very pretty common thing, like we should not speak up and we have nothing to do. So it was the thing. Until when I have a very bad incident in my family, like one of my aunt died due to UTI and recurrent UTI, and finally it was the kidney failure. So then I decided, so my background is in architecture. So I thought how I can do something in the sector and what could be the solutions. Then we came up with the idea how we can make publicly accessible existing toilets, and also it could be for all kind of gender. It could be for women, it could be for men, it could be for children, transgender, and sort of thing. And so this was and we renovated a women-only toilet in a very crowded market in Dhaka. So it's in the capital of Bangladesh. So it was almost 3.5 years back. And now currently we are providing 2 different services. It's a development. We build toilet, and we also, most importantly, we do the operation. I mean, day-to-day cleaning.
Yeah.
So right now we are operating 12 public toilets in Dhaka metropolitan area with city corporations and NGOs and private sectors. So this is it. And
thank you.
More are in our pipeline. So
very good. Thank you, Farhana. And Christine, we come to you.
Yep. Thank you very much for having us. I'm Kristen, one of the co-founders of Satni, and we make biodegradable and compostable sanitary pads from banana tree fiber and bamboo fiber. So we were started in 2015, and initially we launched because we were looking at the trying to address the issue of lack of access to sanitary pads in India, and not only doing that, but also doing it in a sustainable way. And so these are the two driving motivations for starting Sati and developing the product that we did. And we were able to develop a new variety of sanitary pads because we came up with a patented technology for converting agri-waste fibers into an absorbent material. So that will allow us not only to make sanitary pads, but other absorbent products as well. And the best part about kind of the business model is that we have a lot of impacts. So throughout the supply chain, from raw materials to disposal. So starting with the raw materials, we source it from farmers, and then we have a all-women staff in a manufacturing unit. And in the process of making the product, of course, we're using completely biodegradable materials. And so on the other side of it, after use, we're looking at how we can upcycle the pads as well. So looking at ways that they can be upcycled into like compost, biomass to energy systems, etc. And that's really exciting as well. So we've already distributed more than 500,000 pads, both in urban and rural areas. And we're really excited to have been recognized both in India and outside of India for a number of different things, from innovation to social impact and sustainability. So yeah, thank you very much.
Oh, thank you very much. Well done. No, this is brilliant. And I like to see the variety of products and applications as well that we have. And as today we're talking around women and International Women's Day, of course. I want to talk a little bit about, what it is and how is it to be an entrepreneur or working in a small company as a woman, and how it impacts your life, your family life. So maybe Christine, as your co-founder as well, can you share a little bit more about your journey into creating the business and then growing it as a woman entrepreneur? Have you encountered any particular hurdles that you think were quite specific to being a woman in the industry?
Yeah, I think there's definitely a number of challenges being an entrepreneur, and some of them it might be tough to tell at first whether they're just being kind of a first-time entrepreneur or from being a woman. But I think there are definitely a few things where at the beginning, there was just a lot of doubt around the product itself, and particularly because the primary consumer is a woman as well. This was very challenging because a lot of the people judging were men, and they were saying, oh, I don't know if this is very innovative, or that women actually want this kind of product, or that they will like this product because it's not white, and all these things. And it was kind of a little strange, I think, because as a user, we had already asked a lot of women if they liked it, and they said yes. So I think that was one thing. And then the other thing is more on the kind of operational side. So when we were working with some service providers, it was a little challenging. I have a male co-founder, so when we would go to meetings together, most of the time they would like defer everything to him, and so that was like it was fine. I mean, at some points, but it was just like then if I wanted to explain something or try to ask a question, it wasn't taken as seriously. So yeah, I think those are the two things.
Yeah, I can relate to that. I remember also in my career previously finding barriers because you're a woman, for example, was trying to work in the airport industry, and people thinking, oh, but you're a woman, it's going to be harder for you to access on the ground the site, the place, compared to having a man engineer. I can totally relate to that. Farana, do you want to share maybe some of your experience here? You're mute, and yeah.
Yeah. So I want to share like some institutional problem. Like whenever we were trying to build, looking for a new land or renovating existing toilets, and wherever we are going and wherever we are building or operating, like our priority is we should have at least one women only facilities that can have all the facilities for women. So sometimes I face a lot of problem to make them understand why they need this because of the cultural things. We can't have like a very gender neutral toilet right now. Yeah, people don't feel safe, they feel shy going the same toilet what are using by men. So sometimes they say like women don't use toilet when they are out, so why do we need to build one or two for them, or why, so maybe we can build it later. So even with our first toilet, it was a crowded place and it is kind of a market for women. I mean, if you see the statistics, like it's almost 90% customers, salesperson, they are women. But when we wanted to talk to the authority, like we want to build or renovate a women-only toilet in your place, in your building, and they say us like, we don't need a women-only toilet. There is a no need because why? I mean, we say like more than 90% of your customer are women. They say like women don't use toilet.
Yeah, so there is really a cultural habit to change, right?
Yeah, exactly. So this is one of the biggest thing, and we need to work on that. So,
no, thank you. And
there are a lot of other issues, and I don't want to.
Oh yes, no, I'm sure.
Also,
I'm sure.
maybe, yeah.
No, we can bounce and have different topics. Srija, do you have any words to add?
Yeah, I, like recently we have put up our livelihood project where we have a shop attached to the toilet. So this same model we had done it in our one of the states here some 8 years back. So at that time, we had exclusively looked for a woman entrepreneur to run the shop. But we have seen that over a period of time, it's the husbands who take care of the finances and, majorly run the shop. So at the end of the day, our what we have set out to do, it's not done so you have the brother or the husband coming and sitting in the shop and managing it. So it's just for the namesake that you have a woman. So that has to change.
Okay. And do you have an idea of why it is that the men come in and participate?
Because they think that the finances cannot be handled by women. So I mean, it's like maybe it's money is coming, isn't it? So yeah, muscle part.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, this is very interesting. And I think there's one topic that I'd like to address, or one vision, is that we see, or particularly I find, that there is a lot more about women helping women, and women entrepreneurs helping each other, etc. And this type of mentoring. So, for example, in the accelerator program here, we mentor companies through our network of member companies, but it's not necessarily woman to woman. But I wanted to reflect with you if this is something that you have encountered in your journey, to have a woman model or a mentor to guide you into your journey, and how you find women helping other women. Typically, like you sharing, Srija, that men come in and take more space. Do you sometimes also see that there are some a community growing, and as you develop livelihood models, how are women stepping up for themselves in business?
Me?
Yeah, you can go if you want.
Okay. So, I mean, personally, I have joined Aram Scientific Solution after, you can say, a break of around 2 years or so, and my age is also above 40. I'll not reveal more. So and I was skeptical whether I will be put in on board, but Binsi baby, she believed I had the ability to take up and to move forward, and that belief pushed me forward, gave me the confidence, regaining it back from where I had left behind, and I could move ahead in my the journey with Aram Scientific. And previous to that, as an expat, I had faced lot of difficulties wherever I have to get a job, because expat wives are not supposed to take up all the jobs when you are out. That's so unfair, I feel. So I had my group of ladies support system around me. I had built up a support system around me, and they have helped me in a lot of activities, lot of event managements that I have done as a group there, or as and it was quite successful. It even helped me financially as well. So I think we ladies, we have to have our lady groups, to take care of each one's back.
Yes.
Yes, that's one amazing thing I have found throughout my life. Having friends around you to always be there, supporting, even if it's just for words or just action. If it's there, it is a big relief.
Yeah, no, I agree that this is something very strong and very useful, whether it's for business, whether it's for personal health, to have other women who have gone through similar journey
Yes.
than you. I have a similar experience here in Switzerland, where I have a fairly large Facebook group where I am with other women who come to Switzerland and are foreigners, and they are asking for all this type of questions and support, because, for example, they're looking for cultural support around, if you work and you're seen as a working woman, are you judged because you work, or are you judged because you don't work? And all these kind of things. Finding your community is very important.
Very important. Yes.
Yeah. Farana, do you have some words to share?
I just want to start with one of my personal experience. I mean, from my childhood, I have seen our Prime Minister is women. So whenever I couldn't do anything, my father or my mother, they told me like, if women could be a Prime Minister, you could solve this problem. So I have grown up hearing this thing. So, and when I have started my own thing, I mean, I always think I could do something with the help of others. And when I started, my female friends, my mother, my sisters, I mean, all the women, I mean, actually the idea started while we were discussing. It was a women-led group, I mean, in my family, and it was in a very close friend. So the journey started with them. And whenever I'm in a problem or I need to feel, I mean, I need to pat it on my shoulder, and I found them. And recently, we have a lot of different ecosystem. I mean, startup ecosystem is growing in Bangladesh. So they're also very helpful. And whenever I found, I mean, also TBC is also very helpful. Yeah, there are wonderful ladies over there who have got mentorship.
Thank you.
There. So yeah, it's all over the world now. So we can share our sorrows, our I mean, and whenever you are in a startup community, you are doing things. It's not 9 to 5 PM job. So the challenge is different, and you can easily share without telling much thing.
Nice.
Yeah.
Lovely. Thank you. And Christine?
Yeah, definitely. It's really nice to hear everyone's kind of support from other women, and for us, I think we also had joined a network of women entrepreneurs and had a lot of support from them, but also had particularly I had a mentor as well, who's an entrepreneur, a woman entrepreneur who's gone through all of these challenges before and is much, much farther along in the journey. And so it's really nice to kind of hear from the other side of some of the challenges we're facing, that, these are just, just not small things, but they're like, you'll be able to get through them. And on the other side, it will be a lot better. So I think kind of having that mentor is really important, and really being able to open up and talk about some of the issues and how do you deal with them. I think one thing is also leadership styles that differ a bit between women and men. And so hearing kind of how do you handle certain situations where normally I think the entrepreneur culture has been a little bit more male centric, I think.
Yeah.
And, you know, how do you deal with some of these situations? Because just trying to do it like men is maybe not the best or most comfortable way. So I think that's been very interesting to have those conversations as well.
Yeah, yeah, I'm sure. And specifically as we talk around products that involve engineering or some kind of more usually masculine applications. And yet at the same time, you have products that can be very feminine oriented for women's health. So I think it is indeed very important. And how, how is it impacting your family life? So I don't know if you have kids, all of you, but being an entrepreneur and being a mother, if you are mothers, how is it for you? What kind of words of wisdom do you share? First one to raise the hand. Let go.
Actually, my daughter and Bhumiju started, I would say their birth is almost at the same time. So I always say Bhumiju is my another child. So I have to, sometimes it's really difficult, but sometimes, when you are working for yourself, you can manage your time on your own. You can, this is how I balance my family life. And sometimes it's really difficult to make some friends or family members to make them understand, like, I have a really busy schedule, like I have to meet some deadline or those sort of things, because in a startup, you don't have, as we are not that big, so we don't have enough people. So we have to work beyond the work. So we have to manage. But at the very beginning of the thing, people were thinking, what is she doing? Is she really an architect? What is her job? What is she doing with toilet? And what? It's a waste of time, waste of my energy, or what I have learned from my degrees. So now people got sense what I'm really doing. So at the beginning, all of the founders or co-founders or the workers, they had to explain what they are really doing in their jobs, because before seeing a result, people might not understand or might not deal with you.
Yes, I think it's about, when you're an entrepreneur and you have also, there is this fear of the judgment from your friends, from your colleagues who don't understand. Why don't you just get a job, and what is it that you're trying to do? So like you say, until you have proper results or a product or something, it can be sometimes a little bit difficult and hard to keep going. Not sure, Christine or Srija, if you have also some words to share around how you keep this motivation.
Yeah, my kids, my daughter is 18 years. And she's more a friend to me than a daughter. All the good things and bad things, whatever she finds in all aspects, she'll share with me. And and what I have seen is that when I have been working throughout my life, and my kids, they have adjusted very well to that, and they have become more responsible. I feel more responsible about taking care of their own chores, taking care of their own, what they have to do, like studying or whatever their task is, and managing their time. They have been more or less able to, be more proactive in that way. I'm thankful about that. And with my daughter, the best time is watching with her some of her favorite series. I also love it, like Brooklyn Nine-Nine and all those things. And my son, he is more, little introvert, but but whenever I cook or anything like that, he likes to come and help. He's more into that. So it's fine. And always I have a very, my biggest support system is my husband, always there with me.
That's wonderful.
All the decisions I have. So he doesn't come into the kitchen, that I have to teach him.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Srija. And Christine, do you have kids yourself?
No, no kids, but I think for me, I moved to India in 2014, at the end of 2014, and so like spending so much time kind of away from my family was a bit tough. But I think it's something where at first it was just trying to figure out the new support system that I had in India, and finding my co-founder was a big part of that. And then building a team in India as well. So, over the last 5 years, it was really exciting, because when we started, it was a very small team and everyone was extremely kind of passionate about what we're doing. And at first we had different challenges, I think, in terms of bringing people on board. We had a small space, and then we had to kind of work our way into an office. And so kind of all of those early startup challenges were there, but now we have an office and a factory, and hiring is a little more normal.
How many people do you
and
have
things
on
like
the
that.
team now?
Right now it's 12, so still pretty small, but we also have a manufacturing staff of about 20. So we're really excited kind of to reach our next scale of growth this year. So
yeah. So what big plans do you have next?
So this year we're looking at scaling up our manufacturing unit, and basically setting up for a launch outside of India as well.
Oh, wow.
So we've been making some plans in that direction in the past couple months, and we're looking towards the scale up as well.
And the distribution of your products is done mainly through, what is your distribution model? Through retailers or?
So we have distribution from our own websites as direct to consumer, but we also have distribution through a couple of retailers in India primarily. And then we also have some distribution through NGO partners. So the NGO partners are distributing in rural areas, and that's the most direct way to make sure beneficiaries get the most out of the program. So
yeah, that's great. Okay. Thank you. Maybe we go around and you can both share one big next step that you want to take as another challenge in your journey. Farhana?
Right now we are working in the Bazaar segment. I mean, Bazaar, it's not the typical market like Western countries. Though it's not informal, it's formal, but it's not like shopping malls.
Yeah, it's more smaller. Or?
No, it's bigger. It has variety of different items. They're selling different items, but I mean, in terms of structure, it's not super fancy. It's not super shiny, and it's the place where people are coming for day-to-day life. I mean, from the grocery to cosmetics item, or for different things. I mean, for clothing and even for mobiles, but their toilet facilities are really bad. So we are trying to have partnership with different bazaars, and we are trying to scale up. I mean, we are mostly focusing on bazaars and health sectors right now. So we will work this year. And from next year, we are planning to go outside Dhaka metropolitan area. We have had some facilities outside Dhaka, but we are planning to go all over the countries.
Okay, thank you. And for you, Srija?
This year we had a lot of homework done, and so a lot of new initiatives have started this year after the COVID, and once the offices started. So what is the where we have focused more is in the micro enterprise in sanitation. So where the toilet and the shop model is there. So the shop will give the livelihood to the entrepreneur, and the toilet is there for the public usage. Both will be taken care by the entrepreneur, and whatever money he is getting from this project, it goes to his, it becomes his or her income. So this is the model, and we have already launched it in southern part of India now. And the second one we have launched in northeastern part of India, that is Angul, with the support from UNICEF and the municipality, the government there. And here it is being run by the SHG group, the transgender SHG group. And it has been greatly appreciated. And in that northeastern part, we have got a lot of orders. So this whole year will be with the MES model. So 10-15 orders in Orissa itself we have got. So we'll be starting to implement it within these few months. The second is the low-cost model, that segment that we have started to work on, and we have brought out our model, which is so that we can reach most of the slum areas and the market areas, very, very crowded, where anywhere it can be installed. The low cost model, anyone can afford it. So, and the third one is the center of excellence that we aspire to have it very soon. Within this year, we have a lot of backing from TBC and institutes of organizations, educational organizations of excellence in India. They're all part of this collaboration. Not to mention the support from Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation and a lot of other entities. So here, Center of Excellence, from that, it will be like a center where all the technologies related to sanitation and any allied field, wash sector, basically not just sanitation. It comprises more the wash sector, where water purification, all these technologies you will find in one single area. So you will have areas where it will be, the models will be showcased. There will be areas where you will, the life skill and training programs will be conducted. So it's an aspiration. It has a collaboration with a lot of institutions and like-minded companies. HUL is one big part, we are hoping. So all this involvement.
Big plans. So maybe in concluding remark, if you had one advice to give to a woman starting in business, do you have any particular one advice that you give as an encouraging word?
Be confident, I feel. You should be confident about your abilities. Whatever negatives, you will get a lot of negatives on your way. There'll be a lot of people who are ready to pull you down. Believe in yourself and go forward. And your path will take you somewhere.
Thanks, Rija. Thank you.
I've never seen the chart.
Yeah, I think definitely adding on to that, perseverance is important. So being confident and then really kind of following through on that. And also a couple other things. I think one is definitely finding a mentor. Again, I think is important, because when you have a mentor, you can talk through different challenges, and sometimes you end up talking yourself through the solution, but it's still nice to have someone who will kind of bounce ideas off of you as well. And then the last one that is, I'm a big fan of this, don't be afraid to ask questions. I think that's the only way that you'll learn new skills and things like that, or how to navigate new situations is really asking questions. And I think that's something that that people don't do sometimes, and just for fear of looking silly. But I think it's important, because otherwise you won't be able to really find out the situation that you're in and all of that. So
thank you. Thank you. And Farana?
Srija and Christine already said the very important things. I would like to add one more thing, like partnership is the key to succeed. I mean, you need different type of partnership. Actually, in our case, different partnership with private organizations like Unilever, partnership with NGOs like BRAC, WaterAid, partnership with government, partnership with different non-profit, different international organizations help us to leverage. So it's one of the key. to succeed and to go forward. And you need other partners, like who can help you, who can support you to move forward. So,
Thank you.
my
Well, thank you, everyone. It was lovely chatting with you and getting to know you a little bit better. And if you have any concluding words, go ahead. Otherwise, I'll let you go with your evening.
I want to say I miss what you call Sachi and Renu and Jas. It was such a lovely time we had. Every week having to that chit chat we had, and so many things we had learned in all these sessions.
Which
More
year
than that,
were you?
it was,
Remind me which year you were in the accelerator?
it is around 1999 November. Yeah.
Oh.
No. Yeah. Yes.
2019.
19, yeah. 2019, sorry.
2019, yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, thank you. All right. So, thank you very much.
I just also
Yes.
like to thank Venu as well, because it was a wonderful session. I mean, every week me and my co-founder, we were waiting for the class.
Yes.
It was
Exactly.
like, it was.
I know,
really,
Venu
really
is very
helpful.
popular. Yes.
Yeah, we really miss him.
You see that? Okay. Okay, well, thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Christoph. That was wonderful.
Bye. Bye, Christine. Bye, Srija. Bye, Farana.